Hi, I'm John Ray, and welcome to the Thriving Podcast. I'm your host and intuitive coach, dedicated to amplifying your intuition, transforming your mind, and igniting your inner magic to create a life you're obsessed with. 2 years ago, I was burnt out as fuck in a toxic relationship and a successful tech career that I just wasn't happy in anymore. I left it all behind with no plan, and now I'm running my own business, immersed in purpose and passion, happily married to my soulmate, and living out my dreams every single day. And if you're badass enough to be listening to this podcast, then you're already on the fast track to doing the same, babe. On this podcast, we'll dive into all things life, business, heart, mind, body, and soul, empowering you to uplevel your life and embody your happiest, healthiest, and hottest self. It's time to make idealistic your new realistic, because you're not just here to survive, you're here to thrive. What is up? Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the podcast. Happy Thriving Thursday. We are doing a quick one today, and I know I always say that in famous last words, but I mean it for real today because I truly don't have a lot of time. I am preparing to leave tomorrow. I am going away for the weekend, honestly, almost a week. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm coming back Tuesday. I am traveling to DC and Virginia. So I'm gonna, my brother lives in DC. He went to college in DC and he lives there now, and he has a show that he's in, like a musical. So I'm going to see him in that. But one of my best friends also lives right outside of DC. So I'm going a day early so that I can hang out with her Thursday night, staying over with her, and then Friday spending all day with my family because my mom and my stepdad are also coming. So I'll be hanging out with them and Ethan, my brother, and then seeing his show at night. And then I am leaving early Saturday morning to drive to my dad's, and I am spending the weekend with him and staying there until Tuesday because I didn't get to go see him for Father's Day. And yes, since I'm not getting there till Saturday, I'm staying a bit past the actual weekend because I own my own business and I make my own schedule and I get to do that. But anyway, yeah, all that to say, I obviously still have to pack because I'm a last minute girly, and we know that I pack as last minute as humanly possible. Honestly, there's still a 50% chance that I pack tomorrow morning because literally, like, even for flights, multiple times I have packed the morning of, even like when I was going to Iceland for 3 weeks, like when I had to drive 2 hours to the airport, like I somehow still found a way to pack in the morning. Honestly, like I work well under pressure. Like, I don't know. I think there's many parts of me that contribute to that being a part of like how I function. But yeah, I work well under pressure and I'm a last minute girly. So anyway, the other reason why we're keeping it short today is because my throat is super hoarse, as you know, or if you saw on Instagram, I was sick over the weekend. Thankfully, it was a quick turnaround, but I'm still not, like, I'm still feeling a little bit off. Like, I'm healthy, but I'm just, like, not totally back to normal. You know that feeling. And so, yeah, I just still have, like, a little bit of low energy, like, I'm a little more tired than usual. And, like, my throat is fine. I didn't even have much of a sore throat while I was sick, but it's just, like, a little hoarse. And again, like, I just have less energy overall. Also, like, I didn't get super great sleep the past couple of days. Not terrible, but I just couldn't fall asleep because when I'm sick, it throws off my sleep. Like, I just like can't fall asleep as easily and get comfortable as easily. So all that to say, I also had therapy today, and so I was already talking a lot and my throat was like super hoarse afterwards. And so I even stopped on my way home just to get some throat coat tea so that I could soothe my throat a bit to make sure that I get the pot out for you guys. But yeah, all that said, I want to keep it short for time purposes, for energy and throat health purposes. And yeah, just something fun and fresh. Because I know I give you guys some like really meaty episodes a lot of the time. So I thought it'd be fun to like keep it light and vibey. We do have one more episode left of the manifestation Q&A, the part 3. It is about beliefs and rewiring beliefs and how to get yourself to believe and like how much, you know, finding the balance of belief and doubt and all that. It's a really, really good episode. It's already like half recorded because I recorded part of it back when I was recording the other 2 manifestation episodes, but it's not done. And so I didn't feel like taking the time to listen back to see what I already had and like what I needed to add and whatnot. And also since the past 2 were manifestation, I thought we would just, I mean, technically it's all manifestation, but I thought we would just, yeah, do a little fun and fresh one and then bring it back to that one next week. So what I want to talk about today is basically, this is just a download that came to me in the car when I was driving back from therapy. And it's actually was inspired by a conversation that I had yesterday and a couple other things, not just that conversation, but basically the number one trait or the number one difference that separates successful people from unsuccessful people, basically. And don't quote me on that when I say when I say the number one thing, because I'm not going to lie, I didn't really think that much into it. I just thought, I was like, you know what? This is a huge ass difference. And so in this, sometimes when I say number one, I really am in the last episode when I talked about self-love and I was like, this is literally the number one, only thing you really need to prioritize. I really meant that. That is the number one thing. In this case, not gonna lie, I haven't given that much thought to it to really determine if I think there are other things that are maybe possibly above it. But it's definitely in the top 5. And it could very well be the number one. It's absolutely a huge, huge, huge thing. And it also actually was kind of inspired, or I guess honestly, I should say it inspired this. So basically, I had this thought. So I'm doing an IG Live pop-up next week, probably either Tuesday or Wednesday, sometime next week. I haven't exactly decided. It's going to be, you're hearing it here first. If you're a special podcast listener, I'm not going to really announce it, but an IG Live pop-up kind of mini masterclass training on the top 10 traits of a hot girl CEO, because as you guys know, hot girl CEO summer is coming up. We are getting amped. I'm super, super excited. Girls in the group are already manifesting. I already started dropping some of the bonus content. It is so good. I'm getting so excited. We have 6 girls inside already, maybe actually going up to 7. I was just talking to someone else who was interested earlier today. I'm so, so excited. Honestly, I was thinking today, it's kind of wild that I'm doing this group for literally $44 because I'm not treating it like a low ticket offer at all. I am treating this like a high touch, high proximity group. It is not like a $44, just vibey group chat, even though obviously I'm marketing it very much as come vibe in the chat, which is a huge part of it. I am putting so much into this. You get not only the 2-week actual group chat with daily trainings, literally training every single day. There's giveaways just for participating to win cash, intuitive business readings. If you join now and you get the VIP upgrade to add the one-on-one session, it's $44. It's literally just the same price as the container. So you're paying $88 total. And it's worth it literally just to get the one-on-one session for $44 alone. But then on top of that, we have 3 live calls. We have a kickoff embodiment workshop and intention setting. We have a 1-hour live coaching call halfway through the accelerator. And we have a closing reflection manifestation full moon circle. Are you kidding me? I was this is a high touch, high proximity ass. This is an intimate container for $44 freaking dollars, but I don't even care because literally the only reason why I'm doing this is it's not about money. Its sole intention is for the vibes, literally. It is just because it's something that felt super exciting to me and I just wanted to experience this with as many people as possible. And yeah, literally just have a hot girl summer and help as many of you have a hot girl summer as possible. So anyway, I don't remember why I started going on that tangent about the program, probably because I'm just so excited about it. Why did I start going on that tangent? Because I said something about hot girl summer. I'm going to have to pause so I can look back at the transcript. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remembered. Well, I didn't read. Well, I remember, but I did have to pause and go back and look at the transcript. Also, my voice is already getting so scratchy. I could feel it and hear it. Was because I said I'm doing that IG Live pop-up, right? About hot girl CEO traits. So anyway, this is one of the top 10, spoiler alert, hot girl CEO traits. Essentially, yeah, that really sets successful people apart from unsuccessful people, or, really people that get what they want versus people that don't get what they want. And so what that difference is, unsuccessful people base their decisions and beliefs off of past experience. Successful people who get what they want base their decisions off of their future vision. Okay? Unsuccessful people base off of the past. Successful people base off of the future. and sometimes the present. But in terms of decisions, based off past experience versus future vision. Okay. So what exactly do I mean by this? So I'll tell you about the conversation that inspired this yesterday. It was with someone. I'm not going to call anyone out on the podcast, but basically I was having a conversation with somebody. And also, by the way, side note to this person that I'm calling out anonymously, not saying that this is not a successful person. This is actually a very successful person. This is just one conversation we had. We obviously all slip in and out of good and bad mindsets all the time. Nobody's perfect. But basically, she had submitted something and she was waiting to hear back if it was going to go through, and she hadn't heard anything back. So she's basically assuming that it wasn't going to go through because she's like, I haven't heard back. Last time they approved it, they responded immediately. And the last time they didn't respond immediately, it was because it didn't go through. So I'm just assuming it's not going through. And I was like, wait, hold up. Why are you just going to assume that it's not going to go through? You literally don't know. You have zero proof that either is going to happen, right? The future is always inherently unknown. You literally do not know. And if you've listened to the past episodes, you know that I always say, right? You have a choice, right? You always have a choice. Basically make it a binary. If you don't know what's going to happen, you could choose to believe the best is going to happen. You could choose to believe the worst. And what do you have to lose by choosing to believe the best, right? Because again, that belief and energy can literally affect what happens. That can literally shift the timeline that you are on. So a very common rebuttal to this is, because then I'll just get my hopes up for no reason. If I tell myself it's going to happen, then what if I waste my time and then it doesn't happen? Or then I'm going to be even more disappointed. I'd rather just prepare for disappointment and not get my hopes up. And the truth of the matter is, you are going to be disappointed either way. Think about it. If the thing that you want to happen doesn't happen, you're going to feel that disappointment regardless. Think about however this applies to you. If I'm launching a program and I'm worried that no one's going to sign up. It's I have the choice to either believe that people are going to sign up or believe that no one is going to sign up. And if I believe no one's going to sign up, guess what's going to happen? No one's going to sign up. So yeah, maybe I'm a little more prepared to be upset that no one signed up. But actually what I'm doing is I'm just prolonging that disappointment, right? Because that entire time while I'm launching and having this hope that someone will sign up, but knowing and feeling like they're not going to, I'm just discouraged and upset the entire time. And then when my actual experience reflects that and no one actually does sign up, I'm just even more upset. It's not then when my launch ends and nobody signed up, I'm going to be oh, well, phew, thank God I didn't actually think that anyone might actually sign up because now I feel way better. I'm still going to be upset. But on the flip side, if I spent the entire launch so excited about my program and so confident, oh my God, how could people not sign up for this? This is so epic. People are definitely going to want in on this. Then number one, again, that energy is most likely going to reflect in my reality. So it's going to way increase the chances of shifting into that timeline where people do sign up for the program. And two, even if then nobody does sign up, right? Yes, I will still be disappointed, I'm sure, when nobody signs up. But the difference is now the entire time during the launch, I didn't have to feel that disappointment. I was excited. I was happy. I was pumped. I was confident. And that also will carry into if nobody does sign up. It's not that I'm going to have my hopes up and I'm going to be so much more disappointed. If I truly have that confidence in myself and my program, I'll probably be actually less disappointed because I'm well, they're lost. I don't even know why you wouldn't sign up for this. This program is so freaking cool. I would have signed up for it. If you carry that confidence throughout that waiting period, throughout the anticipation period, throughout that period of unknown, you're actually going to still have that confidence carrying through, even through that disappointment. That will actually make the disappointment hurt less, not more. So it's this really big belief we want to bust about this really big misconception of getting your hopes up and trying to protect yourself from disappointment, because you are going to be disappointed either way. And if you expect it and prepare for it, it's really not going to soften the blow that much. All right. So it's literally, why not just act as if? If you're always making decisions based off of the past and basing your beliefs and what you're expecting based off of the past, right? Then nothing is ever going to change in your life, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if we know that our beliefs and actions create our reality, and we base all our beliefs and actions and decisions off of the past, then we are just creating more of the past. You see how that makes sense? Literally, you can't create a new experience through the same beliefs and actions that have driven you, that created your past experiences or your present experiences. Think about it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you want to create new, different experiences with more success and you want to manifest change, you have to change the actions and beliefs that you are operating from, which means that they cannot be based off of the past, right? Because you will just create more of the past. It'd just be a endless cycle. Do you see what I'm saying? You kind of can't really argue that. So it's yeah, sure, if you want exactly what happened in the past to happen, then you should absolutely keep operating under that paradigm, right? You should absolutely make assumptions based off of what happened in the past, because then you will keep creating that experience. But if you actually want it to turn out differently, then you need to shift that. You need to actually decide, what do I want to be true? Do I want that to be true, right? Do I want this to be what I assume or what I believe or what I expect in every situation similar to this? If you want different results, then the answer is no. So you have no choice really but to just interrupt that and choose to base your actions and decisions off of your future vision. And that does mean taking risks, taking leaps of faith. That means trusting in your vision, right? Trusting in yourself and your ability to flip the script and make things happen. And I want to give this example, tying it back to relationships. You guys know I love relationship metaphors. Think about, when you're going on a first date and you've never met this person, you've never gone on a date with this person before, right? And you might be nervous that they're not going to show up. You have no evidence, you have no proof or past experience that they're going to show up, that you can trust this person, that they're going to stick to their word or anything like that, right? But you're taking a leap of faith, literally by going on that first date, you're taking a leap of faith and just trusting that they're going to show up, right? And then when they do show up, then say it goes really well and you schedule a second date, then you're going to feel a little more confident that they're going to show up for the second date because you have that experience now they've shown up for the first date. That is building trust. That is you literally starting to build trust with this relationship. And that is the same way you build trust with the universe. Maybe you did get ghosted in the past. So then if you base all your actions based off of that past experience that you got ghosted and you just assume that every person in the future is going to ghost you, you'd never go on another date again. But if you have this future vision of meeting the love of your life, right, and manifesting your soulmate, living happily ever after, you cannot act based off that assumption, right? You have to take that risk again and put yourself out there and take another leap of faith and trust that a new person will show up, because that is what the future version of you that manifests healthy love and healthy relationships does and believes. And then, right, say that you do that, and then the person you go on that date with does end up being the love of your life, and you end up going on a million dates. And then imagine 10 years down the line, you guys are married and you're meeting them out for dinner. Would you ever for a second question at that point that person is going to not show up, that your husband or wife is not going to show up for your date? No, because at that point you've built such a strong trust. And again, that is exactly how it works with the universe. You have to first take a leap of faith and make a decision based off of your future vision and your future desires and your future goals, and not off of your past experiences. And then that is what creates new experiences, new reality, and new beliefs, and builds that trust with the universe that you can continue to build off of and use to continue to make decisions like that, and to continue to act from your desire and your future vision and not from your past experiences or your pain. All right, I said I was going to keep this quick, so we're already about 20 minutes. So last thing I want to say about that is, if you're having trouble really integrating this, and you're okay, I get what you're saying, but I have to go off of my logical evidence, just how my brain works. I don't know how to just believe something different. Think about a time in the past when it has gone differently. Think about a time in the past, think about any experience where it's gone bad at one point, and then you've tried again and it's gone better, or it's gone differently. Even we all have dating experience. Think about a bad date you went on. Imagine if you just let that bad date make you assume that every day you ever go on in the future is going to be bad. That applies to every single context. Going back to this, when she sent this through, if she just assumes, well, last time they didn't respond right away and that meant it didn't get approved. So maybe last time your date didn't show up within the first 10 minutes and then he never showed up. And so now you're on a new date, right? And he doesn't show up for the first 10 minutes. And you're well, last time he didn't show up for 10 minutes, he didn't show. So this guy must not be showing. Maybe you even leave. because you're like, well, he's not showing up. I already know from last time he's not showing up. Maybe he was just 10 minutes late though, and then he shows up and then you miss out on the date, right? Because you chose to act from the past instead of what you want to be true for your future. Because when you think about it again, like this evidence, quote unquote evidence that we have for these assumptions, even in the first place, is often so small. You know, like we will draw the worst conclusions from the tiniest little piece of evidence. And as always, we can always apply meaning to something both ways. You could always find evidence for the good. You could always find evidence for the bad, right? There are a million reasons why a delay could mean bad news and why a delay could mean good news in any situation. I feel like we often take delay to mean a bad thing. Oh my God, they're not responding. That means they don't want it. Like that means they don't like me. They don't want to talk to me, right? Like we're talking to a client, like they don't respond right away. It's like, oh my God, like I turned them off. Like they don't want to join. Like they think I'm weird, or like, you know, the guy we're talking to doesn't respond right away. Oh my God, like they're not thinking about me. Like we automatically spiral, right? Again, when we spiral, when we have a lack of information, when we're getting a lack of data, essentially, right? And by the way, you guys, I'm not doing that like mocking to be mean, okay? Obviously, I'm mocking myself as well, right? We all do it. It's a very human thing to do. But yeah, we can all relate to that, right? It's like, oh my God, if you didn't see Inside Out 2, like they illustrated this so well because, you know, like anxiety comes in and anxiety, I love how it's like she's good, she has good intentions, but it's like she's just trying to predict everything to try and keep her safe and just spirals out of control. And like she's assuming the worst and she thinks it's for protection, but it's like assuming the worst, again, actually doesn't benefit us really at all. Benefits us in survival, but not in situations like these. So you just can't make your decisions and base your decisions and your actions and your mindset and your beliefs off of that, because again, you're just going to perpetuate the cycle. So that's all I really want to just pop on here today with this little quickie for hump day. What? Well, it's not hump day for you, but I'm recording it on hump day. Little quickie, just hopefully that perspective shift and mindset shift helps you if you tend to make decisions based off the past. This applies to money too, you guys, right? Like literally everything, especially in business. It's like investing in your business. Like you are basing your decision off of the future version of you that has a successful business, that's making tons of money, right? It's the most hilarious thing actually when we're like, oh, well, you know, once I'm more successful, then I'll do this. Like then I'll do all these things that like reflect me taking my business more seriously. Once I'm successful, then I'll like make these investments. Then I'll get, you know, the good software. Then I'll get an office, or then I'll, you know, make sure my calendar's organized, or then I'll do this and that. And it's like, no, actually those things come first. It's how you manifest a success. And of course, like with everything, there's a balance, right? I'm not saying like you're going to go like spending outrageously on like things you don't actually need or things that aren't actually going to contribute to you embodying the success or the freedom or whatever it is that you want. But I'm saying, you know, like you just can't base your decisions, or I mean, you don't want to base your decisions. I mean, you can base your decisions however you want, but you probably don't want to base your decisions, you know, with spending money even in general, off of like, well, I've always been poor, I can't spend money on this, or like, I don't have money, so I can't spend money. You're not basing your decisions off of the mindset of a poor person, because you don't want to continue to be a poor person. And as I described a million times already, right? You will just continue to perpetuate the cycle. If you are driving your beliefs and actions off the identity of a poor person, you'll continue to create a reality that reflects the beliefs and actions of a poor person. So if you want to become a wealthy person, if you want to build a successful business, you have to act. This is like really the core of identity work, honestly, is like, okay, well, how would that person act, right? What decision would they make? Right? I always ask myself when I'm trying to make a decision, like, well, what would I do? What would I choose if I had more than enough money that I knew what to do with, if I had more than enough time that I knew what to do with, and if I felt more than enough love in my life that I knew what to do with, right? Because that is truly the identity that I want to embody, and that's the life I want to live. So that is the mindset that I frame all of my decisions from, that I allow to drive my actions and my choices. Because that's the only way you're going to get there. I was just talking to someone the other day about like wanting to pay off their debt, and same kind of ideas, like with the money is like she was actually really restricting herself in order to like really try and meet this goal of paying off her debt because she wanted the freedom of having her debt paid off. But it's like the irony is she's actually sacrificing her freedom in this process, right? Like while trying to get to this point of freedom, she's trying to get there through sacrificing freedom. And it's like, You can never get to a goal by sacrificing the very thing you're trying to achieve. The path to freedom does not involve sacrificing freedom. It just doesn't work like that. Because everything we want to manifest, you have to choose first. You have to choose whatever you are manifesting. So you don't just suddenly wake up one day and you're free. As we already talked about, nothing outside of you changes how you feel inside. So if you want freedom, you have to choose freedom first and embody freedom and make your actions and choices and decisions based off of what does a free person do? How does a free person feel? What kind of choices and what does a person who already feels financially free spend their money on? And how does a financially free person, handle their money? You have to choose to start embodying that now, and that is the only way you truly get there. You don't just suddenly get there by sacrificing it along the way with anything. Freedom, joy, anything. The path to the thing is embodying the thing. It's choosing the thing. So it's completely backwards, actually, to think that by sacrificing a thing, you will get to the thing. So you choose it, you embody it, you base your decisions and actions off of who you want to be, not who you've been, off of what you want to be true, off of what you want to experience, not what has been true in the past, not what you have experienced in the past, unless you don't want nothing to change, essentially. So that's my little life lesson for today. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in Hot Girl CEO Summer if you are already in. If not, then feel free to send me a message on Instagram. You have until the end of this week to join for $44, and then next week is technically the late join. We're not officially starting until the 8th because we're not starting until after 4th of July weekend, and I wanted to align with the moon cycle, but that is the late join period, so it will double the price to $88. So if you want to get in before the price doubles, DM me before the end of this weekend. I would love to have you in there. It's going to be an absolute party. Love you so much. Thank you so much for listening. If you love the episode, don't forget to rate, review, send it to a friend, send it to anyone who you think would enjoy the episode or get something out of this. Reach out to me, let me know what you thought, let me know any questions. I always love to hear what you think. And with that said, hope you have an amazing rest of day or night wherever you are. I love you. Don't forget to take a deep breath and smile, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.